Are these the best Les Paul riffs ever written? Stay tuned to find out. If you're watching this video, chances are you're not subscribed to the channel, so make sure you hit the subscribe button below to check out more of our content. And while you're down there, give us a thumbs up too. Hi, Sam from Guitar Village here. The Les Paul is one of the most iconic guitars out there, played by some of the biggest players on the planet, with countless riffs written on it. To celebrate this, we've put together a top 5 Les Paul riffs. Now, before we get started, pause the video, get down to the comments below and let us know what your top 5 would be, and let's see how close we both got. Let's get started. In at number 5, we've got Hideaway, off the 1966 Beano album featuring Eric Clapton. For this example, I'll be using this Gibson Custom Shop 1959 VOS Les Paul in iced tea. The reason I chose Hideaway is because I think it really epitomises that early Eric Clapton woman tone that so many of us have tried to recreate. I like that it's a 12-bar blues format that's made interesting by the use of lead lines and different riffs throughout. To try and recreate the sound, I've gone for the neck pickup on this Les Paul. I'm going into a Marshall DSL 15C. I'm on the classic channel with the gain turned quite high, and I've got the amp turned up quite a bit as well to really push some air. In at number 4, we have All Right Now by Free, off the 1970 album Fire and Water. For this example, I'll be using this Gibson Custom Shop 58 Les Paul VOS in iced tea. The reason I've chosen this riff is because on the face of it, it seems like a simple 3-chord rock and roll riff, but actually it's a lot more complex in the way it interlocks with the vocal part, making this riff a lot more catchy. To try and recreate the sounds, I've gone for the bridge pickup on the Les Paul with the tone rolled back to about 6. I'm still using the classic channel, just like I did on Hideaway, but I've dropped the amount of gain too. In at number 3, we've gone for Crazy Train by Ozzy Osbourne, off the 1980 Blizzard of Oz album. For this example, I'll be using this Gibson Les Paul Custom in ebony. The reason I chose this track is because of how seamlessly the lead fills are integrated with the rhythm parts. It's an iconic rock track that I think every aspiring rock guitarist should learn, and a bit of a rite of passage too. To try and recreate the sounds, I've gone for the bridge pickup on the Les Paul Custom into the Ultra channel on the Marshall DSL 15C, with the gain turned about a quarter of the way up. In at number 2, we have Black Dog by Led Zeppelin, off the 1971 Led Zeppelin 4 album. For this example, I'll be using this Murphy Lab Custom Shop Les Paul Ultralight Aged. So the reason I chose this track is because of how monumental a band Led Zeppelin were and how iconic Jimmy Page is as a Les Paul player. I thought we had to put one of these songs in. There were quite a lot to choose from Led Zeppelin, but I think this is one of the most iconic Les Paul riffs for me. To achieve the sounds, I've gone for the bridge pickup on the Les Paul, and I'm using the classic channel with the gain turned up all the way, and I've turned the power amp section on the amp up as well to try and get a bit more natural distortion out of the amp too. In at number 1, and the one you've all been waiting for, we've gone for Thin Lizzy's The Boys Are Back in Town, off the 1976 Jailbreak album. For this example, I'll be using this Murphy Labs Ultralight 8 Les Paul. So the reason I chose this one for the number 1 spot is just because this riff is so catchy and it has a bit of everything in there. You've got some riff parts in there, some lead lines, some harmonies, you've got some chords, some power chords, bit of everything in there. And Gary Moore has got to be up there with Jimmy Page as one of the most iconic Les Paul players. To recreate the sounds, I've gone for the bridge pickup. I'm on the Ultra channel on the Marshall DSL 15 and I've got the gain about a quarter way up. So there's our top 5 Les Paul riffs. Obviously, with so many great riffs written on the Les Paul, we had to miss a few out, so let us know what your favourite Les Paul riffs are in the comments below. All the gear used in today's video will be linked in the description below, so get down there if you want to find out more about any of the guitars we used today. We really enjoyed making this video and we hope you enjoyed watching it. We're going to be bringing out new videos every Friday at 4 PM, so make sure you subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with the latest videos. And don't forget to give us a thumbs up too. The reason I chose this riff is because of how seamlessly the lead parts are thrown in with the rhythm parts. I really like parts are integrated with the rhythm. The lead fills are thrown in with the rhythm part. To try and capture some of the sounds, to try and recreate the sound, wait, integrated.
Yeah, integrated.
Yeah, interspersed.
Interdispersed.
Interdispersed.
Or integrated.
Integrated.
Whatever.
Integrated. The reason I chose this riff is because of how well it's interdispersed. That every aspiring rock guitar... God, my brain is going.
The brain juice.
The brain juice.